We are living in unprecedented times. No matter what industry you come from, we must all review, rethink, and reinvent ourselves. Are you an entrepreneur that is trying to adapt your business to the new norm? Well, you are listening to the 2020 Entrepreneur, a podcast that will motivate you and have you think outside of the box. My name is Hugo Almeida, and with over 30 years of being an entrepreneur, I am here to share and inspire you with my experiences and help invent a new you. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to a new episode of T20E World. Hugo here, and today we're talking about opportunities. Is it all about being at the right place at the right time? Maybe a little bit of luck? Or do we go out and create it? And listen, we've all been there before. We know that one individual out there who decides to come up with some kooky idea, and guess what? It winds up working. Meanwhile, we are sitting back stressing over every penny. We're dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. We're following the basic 101s of doing business. You know, we just sometimes feel like no matter how hard we try, it's not working. You know what? It's frustrating, and I get it. It does not mean your plan is not working. But we got to remember sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're expecting fast results and become discouraged easily if we don't see our plan working quickly. But sometimes, you know what? I got to tell you, it is true. You know, it's about being at the right place at the right time and having a little bit of luck. What I'm hoping to do today is I'm going to share some tips. These tips just might expose the genius in you, possibly get you closer to that opportunity of a lifetime, or at least, you know what, get you that meeting or even that interview you were looking to get. I'm going to share that in a little bit, but I wanted to share this story. It's a funny story. I was involved in an international startup where we were doing business with governments overseas, and there was 3 partners, an ex-mayor, lawyer, a financial person, friend of mine, and myself as the international expert. I asked my friend, a senior gentleman, right? He had been in politics and obviously through his practice in the law, had great contacts and resources to choose from. So I still remember that day when I asked him, I said, what the heck made you try this international venture? I mean, he was so out of his comfort level. I was just shocked that he was even involved in his business. And he said to me, Hugo, when you throw enough shit against the wall, eventually something sticks. He said, you just never know. And that to this day has stuck with me. I think it's hilarious. But in other words, what he meant was sometimes you also need to create that opportunity. So listen, I am going to share some tips. Being accessible. It is so imperative that you keep your contact information out there updated. How is someone that finds you on, say, LinkedIn or other platforms going to reach out to you if your information is not updated? Also, if you're getting a new job, if you've done something great, a certification, whatever it may be, share it. Let people know what you're doing. Let yourself be accessible. Another little tip here, networking. I cannot emphasize this enough. Attend events. Especially nowadays, right? It's so much easier because everything is done virtual. Get out there. Let people know who you are, what you do, what's your specialty. How about Expos? Now listen, when the time comes where you can once again attend in person, stay focused. Target on those people that you want to meet with or those companies. You have to have your game plan before showing up at an expo. It is not just about chilling out, having cocktails, and partying all night. You got to be that shark. You got to stay focused. You got to stay on the game plan. Seminars. It's important for you to attend seminars, not only because you're trying to learn more, right? Knowledge is power, but you're also trying to interact with people in your field of specialty. And you got to work the room. Like, you're not going to go to a seminar, sit in a corner, and hope that, if it's a 9 to 5 course, if 5 o'clock comes quickly. No, you're working the room. You're asking questions. You're absorbing. You're a sponge. And at the same time, you're introducing yourself. This brings knowledge. So becoming knowledgeable in your space is so important because it eventually, without you even knowing sometimes over your years of experience within your same career, eventually this leads to you being the go-to person. That is imperative. And guess what? It opens doors. People start knowing who you are. So how do I become a go-to person? Well, one, obviously, do the right thing, hit the seminars, get people to know who you are, ask questions, be the sponge, right? But also, listen, share solid content on different platforms, LinkedIn and maybe some other social platforms, YouTube channel. You know what? Start a podcast. Talk about, your expertise within your field. It's important that people know that you know, right? How about this tip? Do not be afraid of introducing yourself. Now, some of you out there listening right now might be like, what? He's nuts. But it's true. Many of us that are out there, we could be geniuses, we could be phenomenal entrepreneurs, but we still internally have that fear of just going up to anybody and introducing yourself. I always say, start with a friendly face. Walk right up to them, shake their hand, smile, and introduce yourself. Listen, they're going to shake your hand. They're probably going to smile right back at you and say, thank you. What a pleasure to meet you. Do not be afraid. Also, do not be afraid of asking questions. How do we get better at what we do if we don't ask questions? And there is no question too dumb. I know sometimes we hold back in meetings. Sometimes we hold back in large conferences from asking, and you're dying to find out the answer, right? Ask the question. Don't be afraid. And my final tip for everybody out there listening is going to be, do not forget, please do not forget to follow up. It is imperative, it is important, it is critical that if we say we're going to do something, that we do it. If we meet some individual, you know what? Send them a quick thank you or an email. Text them. I don't care, but somehow follow up. It's still fresh in their mind and it shows professionalism. It reflects on the type of individual that you are. So summing it up, yes, sometimes it's all about being at the right place at the right time. And sure, a little bit of luck always does help. But we should always never just be waiting. Sometimes you got to get out there. You got to get out there. You start thinking about how do I create the opportunity. So hopefully these tips will help you create that opportunity, believe in yourself, and let's make it happen. Thanks once again for listening to T20E World Podcast. And get ready for one of our next guests. Yes, Bob Marley's son, Rohan Marley. He's going to be sharing his entrepreneurial experiences, and he's got a surprise for all of us. He's going to be sharing his latest venture. Pretty cool. Until then, my friends, stay safe, stay healthy, and go to it. Go create that opportunity. Thank you. T20E World signing off.